No one thought the comment would leave the set. It was said casually, almost jokingly. "I'm better." Jackie Chan says it with a half-smile, arms loose at his sides, surrounded by cables, lights, and crew members adjusting cameras. A long shooting day, tension in the air, everyone tired enough to let ego slip out unfiltered. Bruce Lee is a few steps away, talking quietly with a director. The sentence lands anyway. Not loud, not aggressive, but clear. A few crew members glance at each other. Someone chuckles. Someone else pretends not to hear it. On sets like this, hierarchy matters. Experience matters. Reputation matters. And Bruce Lee is already a legend. Even if Hollywood still hasn't fully decided what to do with him, Jackie is young here, hungry, explosive, still proving himself, still measuring himself against shadows. Bruce turns. Not sharply, not offended, just aware. "What did you say?" Bruce asks calmly. Jackie hesitates for half a second, long enough for doubt to appear. But pride pushes him forward. "I said, I think I'm better, faster, stronger. I mean, look at the stunts I can do." The set goes quiet in that specific way crews recognize. The kind that means something just crossed an invisible line. Bruce studies him, not judging, not challenging, evaluating. "Better at what?" Bruce asks. Jackie shrugs. "Action. Fighting. On camera." Bruce nods slowly. "Show me," he says. Not loudly, not dramatically, just 2 words. And in a few seconds, everyone on that set will understand why some confidence echoes, and some evaporates the moment truth steps forward. Jackie laughs like it's still friendly. "Right here?" he asks. Bruce nods. "Right here. No injuries, no ego, just truth." That sentence hits harder than a punch. The director tries to interrupt. "Gentlemen, we're on schedule." Bruce raises a hand slightly. Calm. 30 seconds. The crew forms a loose circle without being told. Cables stop moving. Tools pause in midair. Even the camera operator leans in. Jackie bounces on his feet, energized now. This is his world: movement, rhythm, spectacle. He throws a quick combination into the air, snaps a high kick, lands light, grinning like he just proved something. A few people clap softly. Bruce watches without reacting. "Nice," Bruce says. "Now hit me." Jackie blinks. "What?" "Try," Bruce repeats. "One clean strike." Jackie looks around. Everyone watching. He can't back down. He steps in and throws a fast punch. Controlled, but real enough to land if Bruce stays there. Bruce isn't there. He shifts half a step. The punch cuts through empty space. Before Jackie can reset, Bruce's hand is already on Jackie's wrist. Not gripping, just placed. Like a teacher stopping a student from making the same mistake twice. Jackie freezes. Bruce's other hand hovers near Jackie's throat. An inch away. No contact. No violence. Just a silent demonstration of access. Bruce releases him. "You're talented," Bruce says quietly. "But you're still showing me what you can do, instead of showing me what I can't stop." The set is silent. Jackie swallows. And somewhere behind the lights, someone from the crew whispers a single word that starts the ripple. "Media." Jackie steps back, heart pounding harder than he expected. He isn't embarrassed. He's confused. Because nothing hurt, but everything shifted. "I didn't even see you move," Jackie says, trying to laugh it off. Bruce nods. "That's the problem." A stunt coordinator clears his throat. "Bruce, that was timing." Bruce finishes for him. "Not speed." Jackie shakes his head slowly. "But I train 8 hours a day." Bruce meets his eyes. "So did I. The difference is what we trained for." The crew doesn't pretend anymore. Everyone is watching openly now. This isn't about pride. It's about understanding something rare. Jackie asks the question he didn't plan to ask. "How did you know where I'd be?" Bruce answers without hesitation. "Because you told me." Jackie frowns. "Your shoulders committed before your punch," Bruce explains. "Your eyes decided before your body." You announced your intention. Jackie looks down at his hands. That's why it worked on camera, Bruce continues. But reality doesn't applaud. That line spreads fast. A production assistant quietly steps out of the room. Another crew member checks a pager. A journalist friend is already being texted. Because this wasn't supposed to happen on a film set. It wasn't supposed to be clean, or calm, or undeniable. Jackie looks up again. Different now. Less defensive. Can you show me? He asks. Bruce pauses, then nods. If you're willing to forget what you think you know. Jackie exhales. I am. And just like that, what started as a careless comment becomes something no one on that set will ever forget. Because the media doesn't react to fights. It reacts to reversals. And this one has only just begun. Bruce motions Jackie to relax. No performance, he says. No audience. But it's too late for that. Everyone is already locked in. Bruce positions Jackie gently, adjusting his feet by an inch, his shoulders by another. Small changes, almost insulting in how minimal they are. Again, Bruce says. Jackie attacks, faster this time, sharper. He's not showing off anymore. He's trying to connect. Bruce moves once. Jackie feels it before he understands it. His balance disappears. Not violently, just gone. Like the floor betrayed him. Bruce's forearm checks Jackie's centerline. And suddenly Jackie's momentum belongs to someone else. Bruce stops. Jackie stumbles back, eyes wide, chest rising fast. That, Bruce says calmly, is why stunts look dangerous, but aren't. The room is frozen. Someone mutters. He shut him down. Bruce turns slightly. No, I guided him. Jackie laughs, short, breathless, not mocking, amazed. I thought speed was everything, Jackie admits. Bruce shakes his head. Speed is borrowed. Structure is owned. A camera assistant quietly lifts his camera, not to film, just to remember. Another crew member whispers, "This is getting out." Bruce hears it. "It always does," he says. Jackie looks around at the crew, at the silence, at Bruce. "So what now?" he asks. Bruce smiles faintly. "Now you decide who you want to become when no one's clapping." And that question lands heavier than any strike. Jackie takes a step back, rubbing his hands together, trying to ground himself. The set doesn't feel like a set anymore. The lights are still on, the camera's still mounted, but something invisible has shifted. This is no longer about a scene, a stunt, or a line of dialogue. It's about reality intruding where performance used to live. "I wasn't trying to disrespect you," Jackie says finally. His voice is lower now. "Honest. I've been working so hard. Every day. I thought that meant something." Bruce looks at him carefully. Not as a legend looking down on a newcomer, but as a craftsman recognizing hunger. "It does mean something," Bruce says. "Just not what you think." Jackie looks up. "Then what does it mean?" "It means you're capable of learning," Bruce replies. "But effort without direction only makes habits stronger. Not better." That sentence hits Jackie harder than the movement did. Around them, the crew doesn't speak. No jokes. No nervous laughter. Even the director has stopped pretending this is about scheduling. A stunt coordinator finally breaks the silence. "Bruce, that control you showed. Most guys would have dropped him." Bruce nods. "That's the difference between winning a moment and teaching one." Jackie exhales slowly. "You could have embarrassed me." Bruce answers without hesitation. "And lose what came next?" Jackie frowns. "What comes next?" Bruce gestures to the space between them. "Understanding. If you're willing." Jackie hesitates, not from pride, but from the weight of letting go. Then he bows his head slightly. Not formally. Not dramatically. Just enough. "Teach me," he says. That's when someone at the edge of the set quietly picks up a phone. Not to record, too late for that, but to call someone who knows someone. Because stories like this don't stay contained. They escape through whispers, through pauses, through the kind of silence that feels heavier than noise. And within hours, the narrative will change. Not Jackie Chan challenged Bruce Lee, but something far more dangerous to reputations. Jackie Chan learned from Bruce Lee, and that's the kind of story the media never knows how to tell, until it's already too big to stop. Training doesn't start with punches. That surprises everyone. Bruce doesn't tell Jackie to kick higher or move faster. He doesn't correct technique first. He corrects attention. "Watch my feet," Bruce says. Jackie does and immediately misses something. Bruce moves only a few inches, but the angle changes completely. Jackie blinks, confused, like his eyes betrayed him. "You're chasing movement," Bruce explains. "You should be reading intention." Jackie nods, but his body doesn't understand yet. Years of stunt training taught him to exaggerate motion for the camera. Big arcs, clear lines, beautiful chaos. Bruce strips all of that away. "Again," he says. Jackie steps in slower now, thinking too much. Bruce stops him with a raised finger. "Now you're late." The crew watches in silence as Jackie tries again. This time Bruce doesn't touch him at all. Yet Jackie still ends up off balance, leaning where Bruce wants him to lean. "How did you do that?" Jackie asks, breathless. "I didn't," Bruce replies. "You did." That answer frustrates him. Bruce smiles slightly. "That's good. Frustration means you're awake." Minutes turn into an hour. No one checks the clock. No one calls lunch. Jackie's movements change subtly. Less bounce. Less show. More intent. At one point, Bruce steps back and says, "That was it." Jackie freezes. "That was what?" "The first honest movement you made today." Jackie laughs, exhausted. "Man, I thought I was ready before." Bruce looks at him seriously. "Talent gets you noticed. Honesty keeps you alive." Someone from production finally whispers, "This can't leave this room." Bruce hears it. "It already has," he says quietly, because when truth appears on a set built for illusion, it doesn't stay behind the cameras. It walks out with everyone who saw it.by the next day. The tone on set has changed. Jackie arrives early. Earlier than usual. No jokes, no bravado. He warms up quietly in the corner, repeating the small movements Bruce showed him the day before. Not kicks, not flips, just steps, shifts, breathing. A crew member notices. He's different today. Bruce watches from a distance and says nothing. When they work together again, Jackie doesn't rush. He doesn't try to impress. He waits, listens, reacts. Bruce nods once. That's enough. During a break, Jackie finally speaks. "You know why that spread so fast?" he asks. Bruce raises an eyebrow. "Because people love stories where confidence collapses," Jackie says. "Especially when it collapses quietly." Bruce considers that. Confidence that collapses wasn't confidence. Jackie smiles. "Yeah, I get that now." Someone from production approaches them cautiously. "There are calls coming in," he says. "Reporters asking questions." Bruce sighs softly. "About what?" "About you two. About what happened." Jackie looks at Bruce. "We didn't fight." Bruce nods. "Then that's what we say." The crew overhears. A few exchange looks. They know the truth won't stop the story. It never does. By the afternoon, whispers are everywhere. Bruce Lee corrected Jackie Chan. Jackie challenged Bruce Lee. Something happened. None of it is fully right, but the effect is. Jackie walks past a mirror and pauses. For the first time, he doesn't see someone trying to prove he's better. He sees someone trying to become clearer, and that scares him in a good way. Because once you see the gap between performance and truth, you can't unsee it. And Jackie knows now. This isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a reputation being rebuilt from the inside out. The media doesn't arrive all at once. It never does. It starts with phone calls. Quiet ones. Industry calls. The kind that don't leave a record but leave a trail. A producer asking another producer, "Did you hear what happened on that set?" A stunt coordinator texting a journalist friend. Not details, just a sentence. Something real went down. By the third day, Jackie feels it everywhere. When he walks onto the set, Conversations stop half a second too late. When he stretches, people watch longer than before. Not to judge, but to understand what changed. And something did change. Jackie doesn't exaggerate his movements anymore. He doesn't sell danger. He studies it. He notices how often he used to commit before he needed to. How often he confused effort with effectiveness. Bruce notices too. "You're quieter," Bruce says during a break. Jackie nods. "I hear more now." Bruce smiles slightly. "Good. Noise hides information." That sentence stays with Jackie. Later that afternoon, a reporter finally shows up uninvited. Claims he's just doing a background piece. He tries to corner Jackie with casual questions. "So I heard there was a little showdown," the reporter says, half smiling. "BruceLee put you in your place?" Jackie looks at him for a long moment. "No," Jackie says calmly. "He showed me mine." The reporter blinks. That's not the quote he wanted. Behind them, Bruce watches quietly. He doesn't intervene. He never does. The article that eventually comes out is confused. Talks about tension, about rivalry, about ego. It misses the point completely, but fighters don't miss it. Within weeks, Bruce starts getting invitations again. Different this time. Not to prove himself, to consult, to observe, to advise. Jackie starts declining projects that ask him to perform without understanding. He chooses fewer roles, harder ones, more honest ones. People call it maturity. They don't see the origin. They don't see the moment a sentence slipped out, "I'm better," and came back heavier than expected. They don't see how quickly confidence can turn into curiosity if someone shows you the truth without cruelty. Jackie sees it clearly now. Bruce never tried to diminish him. He elevated the standard. And that realization follows Jackie everywhere, long after the cameras stop rolling. Because once you stop competing with others and start confronting yourself, the world responds differently. Time stretches the story, but it doesn't distort the lesson. Weeks turn into months, and what happened on that set settles into industry memory in a strange way. People stop asking what exactly Bruce Lee did and start asking why it mattered. That's when you know something real happened. Jackie feels the shift most clearly in himself. He trains differently now, not longer sharper. He removes movements instead of adding them. Where he once chased complexity, he now hunts simplicity. Every motion has to justify its existence. One night, after a long training session, Jackie sits alone in the empty gym, sweat dripping, muscles burning. He thinks back to the moment he said the words, "I'm better," not with shame, with clarity. He realizes something uncomfortable. The sentence wasn't arrogance. It was insecurity trying to protect itself. Bruce knew that the instant it was spoken. That's why he didn't correct Jackie with words. He corrected him with space, by letting Jackie move and letting him see where he couldn't. In interviews, Jackie begins to speak differently. When asked about influences, he no longer talks only about acrobatics or stunts. He talks about awareness, about control, about restraint. A reporter once presses him. "Is it true Bruce Lee humbled you?" Jackie shakes his head. "No. He trusted me enough to let me learn." That answer confuses people, but fighters understand it immediately. Bruce and Jackie cross paths again months later on another project. There's no tension now. No need to revisit the past. Jackie bows slightly. Bruce returns it. Nothing more needs to be said, because the loudest lessons are rarely repeated. They embed themselves, and Jackie carries that lesson into every role that follows. Into every movement that feels smaller but lands heavier. Into every decision to choose honesty over applause. The media eventually moves on. It always does. But something remains. Not a rivalry. A lineage. One moment of truth passed quietly from one fighter to another, and never given back. Years later, when people try to trace where Jackie Chan truly changed, they point to films, to injuries, to age, to experience. They're wrong. The shift didn't happen on screen. It didn't happen in front of cameras. It happened on a quiet set, in a moment that lasted seconds and echoed for decades. Jackie never forgot the feeling. Not fear. Not embarrassment. Exposure. The realization that there were levels of understanding he hadn't even known existed. Bruce Lee never corrected him publicly. Never told the story. Never used it as proof of superiority. In fact, Bruce barely referenced the moment at all. Because for Bruce, the lesson was never about Jackie. It was about ego versus awareness. Bruce understood something most people never learn. If you humiliate someone, they protect themselves. If you reveal the truth gently, they protect the truth. That's why the moment spread the way it did. Not as a scandal, not as a fight, but as a quiet recalibration inside the industry. People stopped asking who was better. They started asking who was real. Jackie's career took on a different texture after that. His movements stayed spectacular, but they became grounded. His comedy stayed playful, but his danger felt authentic. He learned how to let moments breathe instead of forcing them. That came from Bruce. From seeing that real power doesn't rush. That true mastery doesn't announce itself. That silence can carry more weight than applause. Years later, Jackie would say something in an interview that most people overlooked. He said, "Bruce Lee didn't teach me how to fight. He taught me how to see." That was the real media-shaking moment. Not the seconds on set, but what followed. Because when someone truly sees, they stop competing for attention. They stop proving. They stop pretending. They start choosing. Bruce Lee walked away from that set the same way he walked into it. Centered, unconcerned, uninterested in headlines. Jackie stayed behind, changed forever. And that's why the story matters. Not because someone said, "I'm better," but because someone else didn't argue, and instead showed what better actually looks like. The media shook because it didn't know how to frame it. But history understood. This wasn't a clash. It was a transfer. And once truth is transferred, it doesn't disappear. It multiplies.